welcome back.
It's good to be back.
First reaction you've been in this year so far.
Yeah, 2019. So far, another dumpster fire of a year, but another 11 months to go. We'll see if it improves.
Hey, we're still surviving.
Yes, yeah.
And a few days from now, the 300th episode of the Blockbuster Buster, one of our favorite shows to react to, is going to premiere. And before that happens, I thought, why don't we react to the 299th, just because it's a big tie-in to what's going to follow. And the movie that Erod reviewed was Transformers 5, The Last Night. And last month we did a reaction to the 200th episode, which was for Transformers
4, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a follow-up to that review, while also tying into the 300th. And before we get into that, just want to quickly recap what happened before, because there's been a big storyline going on for Season 8 of the Blockbuster Buster. After the end of Season 6, where Erod went into the Batman vs. Superman DVD, the format of the show changed, and for the 7th season, instead of just reviewing the movie, you saw him in the movies, like interacting with characters, kicking the characters' asses, that kind of shit. And the reaction to the 7th season was a bit polarizing. Some people really hated it, some were open to it, some were willing to see where it went, but I think lack of a major budget limited what they could do, and it was very different. It wasn't what everybody had come to love over the years from watching its show. Like, I get want to try new stuff, but when you do a show a certain way for many years, it's what people have come to love and expect from you.
But you have to applaud the, the bravery, the courage it takes to try to do something unconventional to see if it works, right?
Yeah.
That's the creative process.
It's always good to try new things.
Yep.
But he decided that the old format did work best, so for Season 8, they decided to go back. And before we watch the 299th, I've made a little compilation video, because there's been a major storyline going on throughout Season 8, and if we jump right into this reaction, it may confuse a few people, including you, because
I haven't seen all the story bits, no.
Yeah, so I just thought we'd watch this first, and this will be its own video later on, but right now we're going to watch the storyline, just catch up.
Alright.
So before we jump into the 299th, a little recap of Season 8. What appears to be the guardian Lorelei, the woman/entity who bestowed the title of the Blockbuster Buster to Erod many years ago, appears and tells him that after battling the movies within the movies, he has to return to his roots, and he has to bust 10 bad movies once again in the traditional style. And as Erod busts them, he comes to realize that the person making him do this is not Lorelei. It's actually this woman named Una St. James, who we find out, and this is all within the show's universe, is the original holder of the Blockbuster Buster title. And she's now hell-bent on getting the title back from Erod by any means necessary.
Which he discovers by analyzing the frequencies and going back to his VHS collection.
Totally busted.
I used to record every episode.
And now, we're at episode 299, where she's about to leave for a little bit, but before going, she gives him a pretty special bad movie to review. Here we go.
Don't let me keep you.
While I'm away, do me a favor and leave for me.
What if I say no?
Oh, I have a feeling you're going to want us this time.
You review it.
Well, you'll review this movie. Or I'll launch 3 missiles from my base. That will hit 3 very specific targets.
What targets?
E-Joy, She-Rod, and Dr. Effect.
Jarvis, did you send the message?
The message was sent over 24 hours ago, sir. Still, no response. Would you like me to send it again?
Nah. He's not coming. Even though he said he'd be here.
Is there anything else I can do for you, sir?
Send out a call to all the others. I have a feeling I'm going to need help before this is over. See, why did you have to retire? I wish you were here.
His idol. Hello.
See? Retirement looks good on you.
Hey, thanks. It's been a while since I've heard from you.
Yeah, I thought about contacting you a few times, but I was afraid to bother you.
You've never bothered me, Erod. Now, how can I help you?
I guess I need your wisdom. You see, I'm facing a supervillain that's completely out of my league, and...
So? You've faced plenty of bad guys before, and you've beaten them all.
Oh, no, that's not the problem. Bad guys, I can handle. It's just that it's been 8 years, and I'm still in the same place as when we last spoke. I'm still reviewing a Transformers movie, and I'm still alone. I just figured that by this point, I would have somebody at my side to help me carry the weight. But after all these years, I'm still a loner warrior.
Those are just words on a piece of cardboard, Erod. They don't define you.
I just wish you were here.
And I would love to be, but I'm not in your universe anymore, Erod. And focusing on what you don't have is not going to help you get through this.
I know.
Friendship is like love. It comes when you least expect it. You have to have faith that when your time comes, someone will be there to support you.
Okay, but what do I do until then?
Do what you do best.
And what is that?
You never give up.
All right then. It's time to do the job.
Ooh, good timing.
How do I look?
Like a big damn hero.
As Obi-Wan.
Go be a good example for your fans.
Yes, ma'am. See, if this is the last time we speak, I just want to let you know that you're my hero.
I know. Now go get him.
Good motivational speech.
Let's get to work.
The new opening sequence they do. It's a lot quicker, but it looks pretty good. Good artwork as always.
Yep.
Greetings, fanboys and fangirls. I'm Erod, and I'm the Blockbuster Buster. You've all heard this spill before, so I'll keep it brief. Transformers is one of the greatest franchises of all time. Some of the best animated shows and toy lines in all of fandom are based on Transformers, and yet 4 of the worst movies in cinematic history bear the same name. All 4 are terrible, all 4 made big money, and thus the reason they kept making them.
Yes.
Until we arrive here, Transformers: The Last Night. Will it be as bad as the others, or will it finally break the chain of shittiness?
Unlikely.
Let's find out. So our movie begins in medieval times, where we not only find out that King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table are real, but that the wizard Merlin was a drunken fraud, who got his powers from an energy staff he got from Transformers. These
Of
powers
course.
include and are not limited to control over a 2-headed robotic dragon. Oh my god, that sounds awesome! And let me guess, we're just gonna jump cut to the present, where everything is exactly the same as the previous 4 Transformers movies. And there it goes. And boy was I right, as the war between the Autobots and the Decepticons is still going on, and Transformers are still illegal on Earth, which means that in the previous movie, other than stopping the planet from being cyberformed, our heroes achieved absolutely nothing. Incidentally, That movie was 2 hours and 40 minutes long.
Yeah.
Fucking Bay. We got to a restricted
He
area
really
where a
hates
group of
Bay.
kids run into a little girl who's tried to sneak out a transformer without the military noticing.
Whoa, all right. Told ya. Covered. Can't be.
Been on target.
Unable PID, visual on 5 little feathers.
Stop! He's a transformer. He can disguise himself as any moving vehicle in existence, and yet he chose
You
to
put a bunch of
disguise
trash
himself
over him.
Yeah.
as a moving pile of rubble. What could possibly go wrong? Thankfully, the cavalry arrives just in time. That's right, Marky Mark is back as Shia LaBeouf's replacement, Kate Yeager. And at his side is Bumblebee. Hold on. Bumblebee is great and all, but there are a lot of other Autobots that would have been far more useful in this covert paramilitary operation. So why did Kate Yeager bring the big, bright yellow Bumblebee to help him?
Oh.
They actually got good reviews.
You know what? That's just a lot for me to unpack right now. On his way out of the restricted area, Cade tries to save a dying Transformer, but the fallen soldier is far beyond saving, but rewards Cade with a Cybertronian talisman. Plot point! Cade and Bumblebee leave before the military can turn them into Swiss cheese, but B still gets tagged with a tracer. So why doesn't the military just follow them and arrest them right now? Who cares? Let's see what Optimus Prime is doing. So because of the subplot that was poorly established in the epilogue of the previous movie, Optimus goes back to Cybertron looking for his creator, Quintessa. Well, he finds her. She kicks his ass and turns him evil somehow. Now, other than the fact that they stole this plotline from Transformers Prime, the subplot of Optimus Prime going evil just doesn't work within the context of this movie because action sequence! Let's see. So far we've had explosions, sophomoric humor, and over-glorifying the military. There's just something missing to make this a true blue Michael Bay film. Got it! A stupid juvenile scene that shows what Michael Bay thinks women talk about when men are not around.
Percival, King Arthur, honorable men, brave, muscles sinewed, sweat glistening off their bodies.
Yep. She's delivering an overly sexualized lecture to a group of underage girls. Michael Bay, you are absolutely the only one worthy of helming this beloved children's franchise.
Michael Bay, explosive!
The edgy educator is actually Professor Vivian Webley, a mythology expert from the UK, who just so happens to specialize in Arthurian lore. On a side note, she's played by Laura Haddock, who is best known for playing Star-Lord's mom and Captain America's really good friend. Well, so far the cast is way better than the last 4 movies. Did I just give a Michael Bay Transformers movie a compliment? Excuse me.
Oh. Right in the barb.
I promise that it won't happen again. So Cade is hiding the Autobots in a scrapyard. There's some metaphor here somewhere. When he discovers that the little girl from the opening scene followed him home, he allows her to stay because she has the uncanny ability to fix broken Transformers. Gee, I hope that turns out to be an important plot point and not a throwaway line, because that would be annoying. And speaking of annoying, apparently the military surveillance equipment is sophisticated enough where they can track and spy on the Decepticons without being detected. They learn from their surveillance that the evil Megatron is searching for the Staff of Merlin, which he can apparently use to destroy the Earth. Now hold on to your seats with both hands, because this is when this movie goes from being mildly stupid to extremely dumb. The military agrees to work with the Decepticons to find the Staff. Why? If they need to work with
Because the military
Transformers
is
to find
dumb,
the Staff,
apparently.
why not work with the Autobots, who would not use the Staff to destroy the Earth? Or, and this is just a wild suggestion, they could just continue using the ridiculously advanced surveillance technology to follow the Decepticons to the Staff, and then just bomb the place. No more Decepticons, no more Staff of Merlin, the world would be safe. But they don't do that. And you want to know why? Action sequence! Decepticons Cade's location, and the usual bombs, bullets, and gratuitous slow motion ensues. When suddenly, Cade is saved by a robot butler. Yup, a robot butler. No need to put any focus on any of the characters that people like in this franchise. Let's just put the focus on a brand new character that nobody gives a shit about. Next thing you know, the robot butler's gonna beat the shit out of one of the Autobots single-handed.
Don't kill the messenger, or the messenger will kill you.
Fucking Bay. Along with Cade, Vivian is also recruited by one of the robot butler's associates. In Vivian's case, she is recruited by none other than Hot Rod from the original Transformers movie?
Please, mademoiselle, don't do that.
And he has a French accent for some reason. But a Hot Rod, by definition,
Did
is
you grow
an
up on the
old
cartoon?
American car.
Yes.
It's, oh my god, this movie.
Good to have someone who's familiar with it.
So the Robot Butler and Hot Rod bring Vivian and Cade to their leader, played by Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Wow.
Now, some of you
Yeah.
might be wondering how one of the greatest actors of all time ended up in this terrible movie. Well, the fact of the matter is that these movies are produced by Steven Spielberg, the same man that talked long-term rivals, Warner Brothers and Disney, into putting their characters into the same movie. So, there you go. Anthony Hopkins reveals to them that he is part of the Wiccans, a secret order that has been working alongside the Autobots for decades. One of their main functions is to stop the staff of Merlin from falling into the wrong hands. And why would that be a bad thing? Well, the movie overcomplicates the hell out of this explanation. So I'll give you the simple version. The bad guys are going to bring their planet, Cybertron, to Earth. And they are going to hook it up to our planet like a car battery, in order to use the energy from Earth to bring their planet back to life, destroying Earth in the process. The Staff of Merlin is the key that turns the ignition on the machine that will begin this process. There. Simple and to the point.
Yeah.
Notice how I didn't have to bring up knights, Nazis, or Mark Wahlberg's sex life to explain that.
Whoopee, Mr. Cade. It's been a while.
Well, how long's a while? A week? A month? A year?
None of your business.
Well, we need to ask you a question.
A while.
Yeah, that's an actual scene in this movie. No, I have no idea why they left it in. And why do they need Cade and Vivian? Well, because of his involvement with the Autobots, Cade has been chosen to be the titular last knight, tasked to help with the finding and protecting of the staff, and until his mission is complete, the talisman that the Transformer gave him at the beginning of the movie will keep him safe. In the case of Vivian, the staff is actually coded to Merlin's DNA, so only he or one of his descendants can wield it. And Vivian just so happens to be the last living descendant
isn't that
of
convenient?
Merlin, meaning that if somebody
What a
activates the
twist.
staff, Vivian is the only living human being who can turn it off. And this, fanboys and fangirls, is when it becomes evidently clear that they have completely run out of ideas for Transformers movies. As in the next 15 minutes or so, the movie completely forgets about the Transformers and basically turns into one of the National Treasure movies. As Cade and Vivian go from one location to the other looking for clues that will lead them to the location of the Staff of Merlin. Many tasteless jokes and action sequences later, they finally find the staff, only for it to be taken away from them by Optimus Prime. Oh, Optimus Prime is in this movie. I completely forgot. I mean, he was only gone for 22 minutes. To put it into perspective, that is the approximate length of one of the episodes of the cartoon. The Robot Butler has more screen time in this movie than the main character of the entire franchise. And that is not a joke. So Optimus goes to get away with the staff when he is intercepted by Bumblebee. Prime, of course, is too powerful for B. He quickly gets the upper hand and goes to kill him. Gee, let me guess. This is the scene where the little girl from the beginning of the movie shows up and uses her mad Transformer fixing skills to make Optimus Prime good again. And I know what you're thinking. Erod, that is far too stupid for them to put into this movie.
You underestimate.
How dare you overestimate Bay? You know deep down that what's actually going to happen is far stupider than that.
I would lay down my life for you.
That's all it took.
Power of friendship.
See, Bumblebee, all he had to do was speak, and that magically fixes Optimus Prime and makes him good again. But hold on. You don't want to miss the best part.
Bumblebee, your voice. I have not heard it since Cybertron fell.
Yes, you have.
Permission granted, old friend.
So does Bay not have long-term memory?
I try to take people on an emotional ride, and excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay.
Long story
Anxiety
short,
took
the
over
Decepticons
that day.
got a hold of the staff and began their energy transfer, and even put a giant combiner on guard to stop any good guys from getting to the staff. Aw, man, how are they gonna get past that big bruiser?
That looks like the Balrog.
Okay, that was awesome. Was it worth sitting through this entire movie to see? No, not really. Kate and Vivian go after the staff, while Optimus Prime and the Autobots fight off Megatron and the Decepticons. Alright, folks, this is it. The fight we've all been waiting for. Good versus evil. Optimus Prime versus Megatron. And he's just gonna beat him with one move, isn't he? How exactly the Transformers fans put up with this bullshit, I will never
There's
know.
more with the
Thus,
robot
Vivian
butler.
grabs the joystick, the transfer machine drops out of the sky, slow motion, and Optimus Prime comes in for the save. The end.
I am Optimus Prime, calling all Autobots. It is time to come home.
Yeah, Transformers are still illegal on Earth and will be destroyed on sight by the military. You know what? Who gives a shit? This movie's a transforming tyrant of terror and treachery. Is it the worst Transformers movie? No. Is it good? Fuck no. Is this the last movie?
No.
Well, it did underperform at the box office, but it's still Paramount's most successful franchise. So for the time being, nobody knows. But personally, I hope that this is the one that marks the demise of the robots in the sky.
Good rhyme.
I saw that coming from a mile away. Lucille, transform and roll out. All right, you figures rampaging robot, let's light up that
I think that's the biggest busting he's done so far.
Yeah.
busted.
And I love it.
I thought you'd be made of sterner stuff. How is she doing this to me? What is different from this busting and the others? How come sometimes I hurt and sometimes I don't? The only thing that was different is that this time I got it. That's it. That's when I get angry. That's how she's doing it. Every time I get angry, she siphons out my powers.
Bravo, Erod. It's nice to know there's a brain inside that thick skull of yours.
It is simple. I just won't get mad.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
The only thing simple is your thought process, you foolish fanboy. All I have to do is force you to review a movie that I know for a fact will make you angry.
Try if you like, you horrible heartbeat. I just reviewed Transformers 5. There is no movie that makes me angrier than that.
What is it? Oh.
I took a vow that I would never review this movie.
Now you have no choice. What's that movie? Alright, best your friends.
Damn.
Never even.
Not quite. Sorry, but I have to stop you.
Or not.
You like that? It's a new spell I created when I started dabbling in dark magic. Got the idea from Captain Marvel. Whatever you shoot me with, I can absorb it, amplify it, and shoot it back at you. How long does it take to make one of your videos? 10 minutes? It would take me 10 days to make one of mine. Not to mention, I'd have to transmit the signal illegally. So my fans would watch it. You are a spoiled internet rat. And you don't deserve to be the Blockbuster Buster. You're not gonna win this time in your own. Let's move to a more appropriate location.
Where am I? Get away from there, you witch! Ricardo!
Well, that was short-lived.
Well, thank you for coming, pal. Don't mention it! Watching with you.
Yo, she-bitch, let's go.
Elizabeth, Z. Briggs, Louis Lovehog, and Allison Pregler. 300th episode will be
Can you reunite them all?
Justice League.
Yeah. And that's coming out in a week or two, you said?
Few days.
Yep.
Just a few days.
Hey, yo, this video is old. If you want to see brand new episodes of the Blockbuster Buster, go to dailymotion.com/blockbusterbuster. And if you want to join the Legion of Badassitude, hit that subscribe/follow button. And join the Legion, suckers! Nice.
So, we just watched episode 299 of the Blockbuster Buster. What'd you think?
As usual, I think the review went well. It was really helpful having a lot of that backstory in there. I don't think I would have understood it if I didn't have that in there. But a lot of the characters coming together there. Of course, the Tran5formers always provides a lot of ground to work with.
Yeah.
So, it's like the gift that keeps on giving there.
Whether it's good or bad, you can always guarantee Michael Bay will give you good material.
Mm-hmm. Seems like in this one, he just threw so many things up there, hoping that something would stick, you know. Oh, we're going to have a King Arthur and Merlin time. We're going to have Anthony Hopkins. You know, it's just like... and then all of it just kind of falls flat. But
in the last one, they had like dinosaurs, I believe.
yeah,
And it was a good review, a lot of good jokes.
mm-hmm.
The movie itself, based on the clips he showed, just my thought, looks kind of dull.
There's a lot of seeming like unnecessary plot points there.
Yeah, just didn't look, even for a giant explosion movie,
Mm-hmm.
didn't look that exciting.
It seems like he's reusing some of the plot points as well that he had used earlier in the franchise there.
Yeah, it's like one of his biggest complaints that he keeps repeating the same shit over and over.
But he keeps making money.
Yeah.
Just not as much money this time, but
still a lot.
yeah.
Just a little astounding. This franchise is still going, and they just had that prequel movie that he was not a director on,
Mm-hmm.
but the franchise is still going.
Yep.
With or without him, apparently.
And I thought Erod really did a nice job. I think kind of elevated his game with this review, knowing that it was a big one. Just kind of realizing the occasion, I think, of coming up on his 300th.
Yeah. And the opening of this episode, where after we see that Una has his friends and family hostage,
Mm-hmm.
you see that empty chair next to him.
Yeah. I didn't know who he was anticipating there.
Well, there's no guarantee, but I'm pretty sure I know who it is.
Oh?
I think it's a reference to the Nostalgia Critic.
Okay.
Erod said in a video he put out about a month ago that originally the 300th was going to be him and Doug reviewing the fifth Transformers movie.
With their powers combined.
But after the fallout from Channel Awesome, that wasn't going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen on Twitter, if some asshole just decides to poke Erod about the Nostalgia Critic,
Mm-hmm.
he's still pretty pissed about it. If that is, I'm pretty sure that is meant to represent how the Nostalgia Critic was supposed to be there, but to Erod, he's kind of let him down.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way he did that was very good, kind of subtle, and wasn't petty, which I consider a good thing.
And it leaves it open. He can still bring in other people for that 300th episode, so...
Yeah. Just kind of, it's meant to
make a statement.
Yeah, and then we get that appearance by his other original hero,
Mm-hmm.
Little Miss Gamer, or Lindsay Briggs as she's now known. And I loved her appearance in this.
Yeah.
It was...
She has a fresh personality.
Yeah, and it was genuinely touching and good motivation. She really...
She's genuine on camera.
Yeah, she felt very genuine and felt like she really does care about him.
Yeah.
What she says about, when he talks about how he kind of wishes that he wasn't alone at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that also might have to do with kind of the real life thing, because he had been on Channel Awesome for 8 years before he left. No, wait, I think it was 7. He joined on his 2nd year, and in that time he had only done like maybe this many crossovers, or had other people appear on his show, and like
Which we watched a few of them. Yep.
Yeah, and so I get that feeling of feeling alone, like you haven't accomplished anything after all this time. I liked how at the end she said you never give up.
Yeah, keep what you're doing. Keep doing what you do best.
And you're always my hero. I know. Another little Star Wars reference between them. So yeah, original idea for the 300th didn't work out, but he still made it the 299th.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, like I said, a very good review. It was consistently funny. I remember when I watched it with Guy. Guy actually had me rewind the review when he hit himself with the Walking Dead bat.
With the bat.
Yeah. He said, wait, pause
No
that.
damage.
Play back.
Yeah.
And this is going back to Guy a little, but I like this arc thing he said. He likes how, even though Erod riffed the shit out of this movie,
Mm-hmm.
he likes how he really didn't have anything bad to say about Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Aside from calling him Marky Mark, he doesn't really say anything negative or sarcastic about him.
Good actor, just in the wrong place.
Like Anthony Hopkins.
Yes. That came out of nowhere.
Hey, in the third film, they had John Malkovich and Frances McDormand. In the fourth one, they had Kelsey Grammer as the villain. Bang knows how to get the big
names, yeah.
Yeah, big talented people involved. What did you think, including the storyline bits I showed you of... I don't know her real name, because she only credits herself by Melizabeth. But what did you think of Melizabeth as Una St. James?
I think he's stronger than her as an actor. So I think overall, I like how when you connected all the plot points together, it was a little bit easier to follow.
Yeah.
If I had just seen her in one episode, I think that he's far better than she is. So I think there's a disparity there.
I guess.
So,
I think when she started out, she was, in her first two appearances, she felt just kind of simple. Like, just had the mean look and the way she talked. But I really liked her in this review. I thought she came off, well, she does kind of keep the low voice. I feel like she did come off a little menacing, and when she's walking around him and grabs him, I thought that was a little effective, and I think she's kind of, just as how I feel, I think she's starting to come in as a villain.
yeah, I agree with that. With more time, I think they developed the character more, and she got more comfortable in the role, probably.
And in actuality, I don't believe she might be an actress, but I've never seen her in anything else. She was just a fan who Erod connected with through social media, and then asked her, "Do you want to play the villain?"
I don't know if it would be She-Rod, but originally. But
at the end, when she shows Justice League, that's actually, I was really fucking surprised that is going to be...
That's the 300th, yeah.
And you want to know why I'm surprised?
Sure.
When he reviewed Batman vs. Superman, it was like the final review of Season 6, and he gave one of those in-the-movie reviews of Suicide Squad. Erod said after Suicide Squad, he would never review another DC film. He wouldn't even watch it on his own. Like, he was just through with the franchise completely. And he put out a video explaining that the reason he agreed to do Justice League was because it's the 300th, so it's got to be a really special movie. And it has to be a movie that's bad enough that it merits bringing in other reviewers. And he felt Justice League would be that.
A lot of material to work with there, yeah.
Although, and I've seen Justice League, I actually kind of liked it. So I'm curious to see, and he's a purist when it comes to like the comics and stuff. So, curious to see his take on it. And the two reviewers who showed up at the end to his defense, in a scene, they were kind of copying the scene where Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman came together in Batman v Superman. Do you know who those two are?
I don't know who she is. Yeah.
We've watched a little Long Box the Dam together.
Okay.
That's Louis Lovehog playing his atop the fourth wall character, Linkara, the reviewer of bad comics, sometimes good ones, but mostly bad. And like Erod with his magic hammer, Linkara has a magic gun. Linkara is one of the original reviewers I discovered when I first found reviewers on the internet, and I love him a lot. He's very talented. He made me respect the medium of comics, even though I'm not a comic guy. The other reviewer is Alison Pregler, who's formerly known as Obscurus Lupa. That was her online nickname. They're all former Channel Awesome contributors, and he's been a fan of her for many years. One of his supporting characters from a few years ago had a crush on her persona. And they actually didn't really know each other personally until earlier this year. And she got fired from Channel Awesome a few years ago. But after Lewis left, and then Erod left, Erod particularly, I think, wanted to bring people together, which was the original idea that everyone was led to believe Channel Awesome would be all about. So yeah, he brought Lewis, who he's one of the few people he's actually done crossovers with.
Yep.
And Allison, who he's been a huge fan of. And they're all together for this big 3-way review.
For the 300, yeah.
And I'm not a fan of Alison Pregler. I just, I don't like her reviews. Her style, it's just not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I've said this many times, she is a very talented actress. And if she's following a script that's written by someone else, not her, and follows it well, she can give a pretty fucking impressive performance. Like, I could see her in a legit mainstream movie.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes.
We will, and it was a good cliffhanger to end on.
Yep.
I cannot wait for the 300th when it comes out. It'll be in a few days, and hope I can watch it with you at some point.
Sounds like a plan.
And this has been, the past year has been a bit bumpy for Erod and his team. Marcia E. Joy and Billy Joe Grant. But they've all come through pretty well, I'd say. And hope you enjoyed our reaction to the 299th, and pretty soon I'll be putting up our reaction to the Season 8 storyline, just because that could be fun to watch, and see you later.
Enjoy.